Rian Johnson's Last Jedi is even better than you thought. Robot Head proves it.
This organized chaos video is brought to you by Gems Art Studio. This video is also brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello again. I asked you guys for a request, and I definitely got them. That's going to help me out a lot. Over the summer, I have my kids 1 week, then 1 week I don't. So when I have my kids, I'm going to be less motivated to record. However, when I don't have my kids, I'll just record whenever I feel like it. I'll get home from work, hey, let's record. However, if I have my kids, I'll be like, let's hang out. So, give me a request so I can record some videos ahead of time. Helps me out a lot. So if you have any videos you want me to cover, put them in the comments. Now's a great time for me to get to them. Because I want to build up a queue. Because there will be stuff coming up there where I have to respond more instantly. But, comments are fun. And I've gotten requests to cover Robot Head. 2 are from the same guy, but I'll go ahead and post them both here. Dan J. Mala. Love to see your take on this. You click on the link, it's going to be the video we're going to watch today. And then he also said, request Robot Head's Rian Johnson and the bad directing of Last Jedi. We're going to be looking at that today. And then Isaac here. I don't like to make requests, but you need to call out Robot Head for the sexist, racist bully he is. And then he gives me a link to the channel, I assume. I dug up Robot Head. But yeah, so we'll definitely be covering Robot Head in that Rian Johnson video for sure. Last Jedi is a video. Last Jedi is a movie that I largely like. I think it's the best of the sequel trilogy. I think it's the best Disney Star Wars movie. It's not flawless. I think the Finn Rose stuff has good ideas in it, but it drags a bit. I think the stuff with Rey and Luke and Kylo Ren is absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. Pretty much, if you were to cut out the Finn Rose stuff and just have the whole, movie, maybe just do a spin-off movie. Instead of doing it being episode 8, do, a spin-off movie that takes place between 7 and 8. And have that be The Last Jedi and have it just be exclusively about Rey, Luke, and Kylo. I think that would be a fantastic movie. I would like to see, maybe adapt Last Jedi, do that, and figure out new episode 8. I think that'd be the best placement for it. As it is, it's still a really good movie. I think people shit on it way too over the top. It's not perfect. It's not at all. But holy shit, it's not the worst thing ever either. It's a good one. So yeah, we'll go ahead and watch Robot Head here. Let's see what he has to say about it. I'm willing to bet he disagrees with me. Now, Robot Head is not a YouTuber that really, I recognize a whole lot. Why is this not coming up? That was weird. Okay, so yeah, Robot Head. I got his channel here. Out of curiosity, we gotta do the Brie Larson test, see how seriously we should even take this guy. Brie Larson. Ray Skywalker. I don't even know. I do not know. That's a mixed ball right there. It doesn't look good, but he's not making his living on Brie Larson videos, so hey, cool. All right, but we got the Last Jedi one dug up here, so let's go ahead and check this guy out. All right, Rian Johnson. The internet's favorite punching bag, I swear. Rian Johnson's bad directing killed The Last Jedi. Let's see.
I don't want to freak anybody out here, but I think we just made a Star Wars movie.
Last Jedi left some fans shocked by Luke Skywalker's story. Looking back, would you change anything in your script, or do you stand by all your choices?
Nope, stand by every choice.
Yeah, lots of people complain about Luke Skywalker and where he was at. And yeah, he wasn't in the best place. That was part of the story that gave him an arc. And to be perfectly honest, that is where J.J. Abrams left him. J.J. Abrams left him on an island, kind of just retreated, not interested in the Jedi. Like, his Jedi order that he tried to build fell, and he left him there. And Rian Johnson essentially built from that. I think saying that's not my Luke Skywalker, I think that's weird because we're talking about 30 years later. A lot can happen in 30 years. But also, that's not even 100% Rian Johnson. He's got to figure out what to do with this character now.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad.
This video made possible by Squarespace. Get a kick-ass website today.
Ooh, Squarespace. Sure. Whatever.
The news is out that Ryan wants to come back. Not just his 3 films. No. He's not happy with that. He wants a shot of The Mandalorian because he wants to work on something people actually like. But I think we should keep that little fucker away. Now, the fans of The Last Jedi are going to be very excited by this news, which is to be expected. They think Rian Johnson is a god. Some even think
No, not at all.
he invented cinematography. But more so.
What makes you... What makes that okay, you might people find somebody to say something cringe like that, like he invented cinematography. But that post doesn't say he invented it. It just says it's unmatched, which I think is a bit intense. That being said, it is really good cinematography. Is it the best cinematography of the Star Wars franchise? Maybe. It's got really good cinematography.
Invented cinematography. But more surprising.
Now, the people who think someone invented cinematography are the Zack Snyder fans. They will jump on that shit.
Is that some of the people that absolutely hated The Last Jedi don't seem to have an issue with him directing The Mandalorian, because they seem to think it was just the writing that was the problem with that film. And I hate to differ, but you're fucking wrong. I don't even know how you'd separate the writer from the director when it's the same person. What, do you think he was on set looking at this shot going, that's a fucking stupid idea, but I have to do it because, it's in the script. Now, this news came from the amazing Sarah Wilson. Is it Sarah? Sarah? I'm not sure. Sorry. Oh, is that her? I think Sarah might have had a bit of work. But anyway, she works on
Sarah might have had a bit of work? Okay.
USA Today. She's a mum, a best-selling author, and a huge Raylo. I wonder how many books you need to get on the bestseller list. 3,000 to 5,000 at 99 cents a book. That's a small investment to get on the bestseller list. Oh my God, Robot Head's Erotic Stories is coming out. Now, Sarah was lucky enough to interview the amazing Rian Johnson. And because they're both into romance novels, they got along like a house on fire. Anyway, Sarah was lucky enough to confirm with us that Ryan's still getting his 3 Star Wars films, which I say, thank fuck, because I got to pay for that Cybertruck somehow. But not just that, he's incredibly interested in directing one of the Mandalorian episodes, which is fucking incredible news. But I still think we should...
I mean, I would think, I haven't heard anything about the Rian Johnson trilogy. It seems familiar. Recently I heard something like maybe they're still doing it, but I don't know. That being said, that's a way bigger investment than him just directing a single episode of The Mandalorian, because directing a TV series and directing a movie are they're similar, but they're very different at the same time. Usually in a TV series, you have like a showrunner who's going to be like a creative head. So you could direct an episode, but you're still going to have somebody who's like saying, who's kind of has a say over you. You might have something like that in a movie, especially a franchise like Star Wars, but you might get a little bit more leeway because a movie's a bit more of a creative endeavor. It's longer, more, directors given a bit more leeway, whereas a series, not so much.
Put a stop to this because I don't think he's that good.
Great, I got it.
Now, when you think of a good director, you think of their strengths. Are they great with actors and can bring out a great performance? Or are they better at handling action scenes? Is spectacle their thing? Or is their main skill asking the digital department to turn the saturation up to full? Because I'm sure people that say this film looks great also think sunset photos are the height of photography. I think if you take away the effects, the sets, and the sound effects, you are left with a very pedestrian director. But
if you take away everything, like you take away the sets, the effects, like you take away everything, it's not well directed. Yeah, no shit, you took away everything. like what's going to be CGI and what's going to be a set, that's going to be part of his call. Now, that's going to be limited by what his budget's going to be. So he has to make calls, what can he get away with here? What can he get away with there? You've essentially taken everything away and said, oh, if you take that away, he's not a good director. Well, nobody's going to be a good director if you can't do anything. Jesus.
In case I'm wrong, let's go through and check a few scenes to see what a great job he did. I'm never too keen to relive this. First, getting the best out of the actors. Now, it is up to the director to explain what a scene needs to the actor and what delivery the actor should be going for.
Wait, should it be like this? Finn, or Finn?
I want you to...
Or Finn.
How about Finn with 2 commas after it?
Finn the double comma.
Action!
George Lucas famously only had one piece of advice for his actors, and that was to do it faster. George was lucky enough to have...
Yeah, George Lucas was famously not a good actor's director. Look at the delivery in a lot of the prequel trilogy. He had pretty strict control, and the delivery by a lot of the actors is bad.
You're so beautiful.
It's only because I'm so in love.
No. No, it's because I'm so in love with you.
Oh God! Why didn't anybody tell me?
So love has blinded you?
Well, that's not exactly what I meant.
I don't think the original series actors get enough credit for some of the line delivery they had to do in the original trilogy. Well, mainly A New Hope. Mainly the original Star Wars, 1977. Because Mark Hamill has that really bad line about, I gotta go pick up some power converters. Me and my buddies are gonna go pick up power converters at Tashi Station. Which is a great Robot Chicken joke, by the way.
Take these 2 over to the garage, will you? I want them cleaned up before dinner.
But I was going into Tashi Station to pick up some power converters.
And Tashi Station is proud to present the Power Converters! Oh yeah!
Check out that skit. But yeah, if you listen to that line delivery, it's egregiously bad. That being said, I think the actors do a really good job in that movie. Harrison Ford famously criticized George Lucas's writing, and then I think the Star Wars got nominated for the Academy Award. Then he kind of ate some crow on that. That being said, he's not 100% wrong. There's really clunky lines that George Lucas writes, and it's up to the actors to deliver it well.
Have a lot of talent around him. Harrison would tell him to his face that his lines were crap.
I said to George, you can type this stuff, but you can't say it.
He'd also tell Mark Hamill to have the confidence to do the scenes the way he wanted. Carrie was there to rewrite the script, and George's wife was also there to support the actors in their ideas. Not only that, he could turn to her to cut the film in the end.
The winners are Paul Hirsch, Marshall Lucas, and Richard Chew for Star Wars.
Now, Ryan doesn't have that type of help because Ryan's ego won't allow it, so we get some truly terrible takes.
How do you know he doesn't have that help? What's your source on that? What's your source that Rian Johnson, took complete control over this? I would like to see that. Do you have... Oh, I bet you don't have sources. Let's see what your sources are. Sources are none. Okay, cool. So this is one of those videos where you're just going to say shit, but you're not going to back it up. Cool. Thank you.
Sadly, from a lot of people that can actually act, if they're working with the right director.
Hugs.
Check out that facial expression. That's a wonderful bit of directing there.
Oh my god, you can freeze frame on anything and get a weird facial expressions. That's known for.
That was the best take, apparently, because it really is.
Yes, you can get weird facial expressions on a good take. What the fuck judgment is that?
It's more interesting if you don't have your actors constantly doing the blatantly obvious expressions and delivery for every shot. Losing hope. Look as miserable as possible. Angry. Take it to 11 every time. Romance. Have a grown man act like a teenage boy. And there's some great direction. Just have Chewie sit.
Well, I mean, part of the issue of Kylo Ren is that he is emotionally stunted. That is part of his issue. So having him be like a teenage boy actually makes sense.
Sit there, doing nothing. Also love all the shots that are just done with the other actor just saying all their lines off screen as someone looks miserable.
He's only getting stronger. The First Order will control all the major systems.
Well, maybe because what's important in this scene is Luke's reaction and not the specific lines being said. Sometimes it's not always important to see the person saying the lines. Sometimes it's important to see what someone's reaction is to hearing this news.
Within weeks.
One of the other amazing talents that Ryan shows off when directing is his blocking, or simply setting up the shot and where the actor should stand.
Yes. Did you not understand what was going on in that scene? In that scene, Rose is giving me a suggestion, and Finn is like overriding her suggestion and kind of coming up with his own thing, ignoring her. And the whole point of that shot is that he is blocking her.
So we blow that one up. I like where your head's at, but no, they'd only start tracking us from another destroyer.
But if we
sneak on board the lead destroyer and disable the tracker.
So he is visually and in the room and also verbally blocking her. That was done 100% on purpose. That duh.
The New York Film Academy describes it as blocking a scene is simple, working out the details of an actor's moves in relation to the camera. You can also think of blocking as the choreography of a dance or ballet. All the elements on the set, actors, extras, vehicles, crew, equipment, should move in perfect harmony with each other. So yes, let's look at Ryan's beautiful choreography. Well, already we've lost Poe in the shot. Again, some great directing here where she just ignores him.
Yes, during that shot, Poe is trying to get a message to her, and she's largely ignoring him. Oh my god. Listen, man, Rian Johnson isn't perfect in this movie, but Jesus Christ, can you actually, level a valid criticism against him instead of pointing out things that he's actually doing on purpose?
And looks busy in what's one of the most uncomfortable setups for a scene I've ever witnessed. I mean...
Yes, because Poe is uncomfortable because this is a new leader he doesn't know. That's the point of the setup. Oh my god.
Look at that framing. Could it look more fucking awkward? I've seen drunk uncles frame
That's the point.
more interesting shots after a fight at Christmas. With good direction, you should just be in the scene, not reminded you are looking through the frame of a camera the whole time. This isn't a director creating a great shot. This is someone awkwardly trying to virtue signal. And then in the very...
How is this shot a virtue signal? What the fuck? Yeah, just say shit.
Next scene shows how stupid and shoved in they were. All 5 of them shoved in that little space and then nothing, except for the 2 droids.
Cool. What's your point?
Point straight in the foreground for no reason at all. Some films are so beautifully shot you just feel like you could take any frame out and it would make a wonderful photo. Not so much this film.
Okay, so we'll put one girl here, one here, getting there, one there, and one here. Oh, this is so powerful. I'm the perfect male feminist. Oh, we'll just shove Poe in here. Perfect. He looks so tiny. This'll make Empire look...
Wow. You know, letting your insecurities show there. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, he's surrounded by women. God, who gives a shit?
Like shit.
Some of Ryan's camera technique choices really astound me. One is the dolly shot where you have a camera on a track so it can be moved really smoothly. Now this shot can be used in really interesting ways, but not with Ryan. Every time Ryan needs a bit of emotion, he starts moving the camera in. Yes, film class 101. Oh, when you're not just dolling.
There's nothing wrong with doing 101 stuff. The 101 stuff is usually your dependable stuff. Reliable. It's what you do. There's a reason why it's 101. These are the basics.
In, dolly out on a long shot. We didn't have time for the Knights of Ren in this film, but we've got time for this depressing long look at Leia.
Yeah, isn't character development so much worse than the Knights of Ren? I hate character development. God, this is ridiculous.
All we need is oh, thank God, there it is, the second view. Oh, when the action starts moving, just slightly dolly in and out, but a little bit faster. The second technique Ryan completely overuses in the most boring way possible is the close-up.
It feels so good to be zoomed in.
Now, the close-up can be an amazingly powerful shot, but not the way Ryan uses it. Now, while some directors will use their imagination and camera skill to direct the audience to what they want them to look at or what's important in a scene, Ryan just does a hard-ass close-up on anything he thinks is important. Switch, close-up, book, close-up.
Okay, so he's looking at some of the best shots ever in film history. And I'm certain he's going to compare it to some of the worst shots in Last Jedi, which, albeit, are not even that bad shots. But it's like, yeah, okay, so maybe The Last Jedi doesn't have the best close-up shots in all of film history. But if these are the worst you got, it's still pretty good.
Touching wood, close up on bracelet. And if it's not a close up on the hand, so we know exactly where to look, it's a close up on the face. Just constant close ups on.
Yeah, let the actors do their job. We don't want actors to actually show emotion, so let's just do far away shots on our actors. That's a good idea. No, one of the things I do like about The Last Jedi is that it's largely character driven. And yeah, you're going to want the actors to really put in the work and do good, you're looking for good facial expressions, to be blunt about it.
On the face, close up, helmet, close up of the helmet. I've never seen a director that is so reliant on the close up to give a scene context. There's no directing of the eye with the camera. It's just point it at the thing you want us to look at. What wonderful direction. Extreme close up of face.
That's usually how you direct. You point the camera at the thing you want the audience to look at. Why would you point the camera at something else?
Extreme close-up of item and back to face again. We ever seen that before? Make sure you've got that hard close-up of the next item we're about to see. Because Rose couldn't have just pulled this out. We had to see her take it out of the buckle. Directing 101. Heck me. Or close-ups.
Does it matter? Oh my god. I mean, this is nitpicking so hard. So hard.
You could count the close-up shots on one hand in the original trilogy.
He feared you might follow old Obi-Wan on some damn fool idealistic crusade like your father did.
And don't look at a masterpiece like The Godfather. That movie would be lucky to have 3 close-ups in the whole film. Oh, we're getting ready for emotion, so I hope there's some close-up.
So, yeah, this movie wasn't as well done as the original Godfather. Okay. So what? Should every movie be directed like The Godfather? I mean, there's a reason why you're not going to get a whole lot of close-ups in something like The Godfather, because we're dealing with mostly, like, bad guys. Even your, like, protagonists are essentially bad guys. So you're going to want to keep a distance between the audience and those characters. Whereas in Star Wars, what you're going to be dealing with are heroes, largely. At least in the context of that universe. So, yeah, that makes sense. Part of what makes The Godfather works is that you feel this distance between the family and the audience watching, and part of what Rian Johnson goes for in The Last Jedi is to put you in the character's head. So even if you do a close-up on Kylo Ren, he's trying to put you in his head.
Yes, here they come. Close up again, and close up. Every single time. We just close up on the face and close up.
Yeah, did you not understand that scene? That was them, like, using the Force to speak to each other. I mean, they weren't speaking one-on-one, but they were sensing each other. That was the whole point of that. Oh my god. Stop it. You don't know what you're talking about.
That's what the hands are doing. Bravo for the direction. Nothing says direction like layered space. Close-ups on faces and close-ups on hands. How many times we're going to do that in this film? And again, the way he sets up people. I mean, this shot at the window is just fascinating. And of course, Fitter's at the back looking like an idiot. And look at the direction.
Where would you want Finn? What was even wrong with that shot? So they're at the window. Whoopty shit.
Of that body movement. Just hold the one stiff, dead position the whole way through. Close up.
Well, what? Do you want her swimming in space? What are you looking for in that? I don't know how else you shoot somebody moving through space using the Force.
Close up, close up, close up, close up, close up, close up. Look interested. Usually when I think of great directors, I don't think about how fucking boring every scene is and how much time is wasted. Look in locker, look at item, grab item. All the directing is so literal. Fuck's sake, have some flair. So much wasted time in this crap. And remember, we gave up the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, there was lots of flair in that, but of course you're not going to cut to that. You're just going to cut to the shit that you think reinforces your argument, which is really a weak argument, I have to say. Yeah, I don't like close-ups because I don't like seeing emotion in your characters. What? Do you want it to be directed like The Godfather, where you feel a distance between the characters and the audience? Because that would be a fucked up movie for Star Wars.
For this, again, if you're going to the film school of bleeding obvious direction,
Give it to me one more time, simpler.
if you're sneaking around, you got to duck down and make it as obvious as possible.
I can't see yours. Just you. Just you.
But just before we go on with this Ryan Love Fest, I need to talk to you about Squarespace.
Ooh, the actual commercial. Let's skip that guy.
Don't put it off any longer. Get your business flying today. And don't forget every decision to make Finn look like an idiot. That wasn't just in the script. Close up. Every time you see him look fucking stupid, that was a decision made on set by Ryan, watching him. Ryan sat there as director and watched this cool looking black dude look like a fuckwit in every scene. And he sat there happy. Tell me again about how he was a great director? Wow! Yeah! Oh, no, here's some great direction. Where the depth of field and landscape don't look.
Wow, that was his whole argument on Finn there? Yeah, Finn had a lot to learn in that movie. But he did. I mean, his arc is that he is still trying to run away. He is still kind of, he's not 100% ready to be part of the resistance yet. So he's still trying to run away. And part of his arc is to fight with the resistance. You see, at the end of The Force Awakens, he was essentially willing to fight for Rey because he saw Rey as a good friend, possibly more. But part of The Last Jedi was to separate him from Rey and to make him realize that the Resistance might be something worth fighting for. At the beginning of the movie, he looks kind of foolish because he's not doing that. He's actually trying to desert them. That's his arc. Maybe you just hate character arcs. I don't know.
Look in perspective. Now, with the great directing here, if you look at...
Hey, look, that's not a close-up. I thought all the shots in this were close-ups, dude.
This scene, how far away is that fucking rock meant to be? And how big is it? Then...
That's a good question. Perspective-wise, I don't know. Does it matter? I don't think it matters.
Spinny. She's right up next to it. Just look at that again. Nowhere near the rock. Can't even tell how big that fucking rock is. The framing's so shit. And then spin. Oh, so the rock looks that far. It looks like you'd have to step down, walk across the grass, and you'd be near it. And the thing would be 30 foot.
Yeah, we actually can't tell how far away it is from that perspective.
Foot fucking high. But somehow she spins around, and she's right next to the fucking thing.
Okay, so it's not 100% clear how far away she is from... Oh, this is such nitpicking, too. But, okay, so, of course, this looks like a forced perspective where the rock's actually further away than that. And probably the other shots might be a set, but this is actually, on location. That being said, as a forced perspective, it might be, right, in front of her. Maybe, I don't know. Assuming she's 5 feet, 7.5 feet. So maybe
fucking high. But somehow she spins around and she's right next to the fucking thing.
It doesn't look bad to me at all. That looks fine. This is such nitpicking too. Yeah, a person is allowed a degree of artistic license in a movie. If you nitpick all movies that closely, you're gonna find lots of stuff, even in The Godfather.
Thing. Oh, no, she's not. She's further back again. Is she near the fucking rock or not? Close-up of item. Can't forget that close-up. Everything's got to be blatantly obvious. Oh, lightsaber. Stick. Lightsaber. Again, how far is she from that rock now? Why is perspective not important to Rian Johnson? Oh, she's back next to it. Oh, you'd be swinging that thing that close to your head. And again, for directing brilliance, this has to be one of my favourite scenes. As I've said before, the kids swinging the broomstick in the backyard. So as I can't think of one interaction between any character,
that's just such nitpicking over a forced perspective shot. It looks fine in the movie.
Characters in this film that has any interesting direction at all. Let's see how he goes with the action, because I'm sure he must be good at that then.
Oh god, I get annoyed when they nitpick the action on here. All action scenes will have wonky things, because that's part of the nature of action. There's going to be a degree of people, it's going to be shot in a way to hide it, but all action scenes are going to have people essentially trying to look cool while also trying to avoid actually hitting the other person because they don't want to actually hurt each other. All action scenes will have that element.
Oh dear. I know. Oh, I should really do a video on those bombers. As we've established, this...
Yeah, I think the critique of the bombers is really dumb. Number one, yes, they are really dumb weapons of war. That being said, so are the big AT-ATs and shit in like the beginning of Hoth and on Endor. The Empire uses those 4-legged things, those 2-legged things. Those are really dumb weapons of war too. Star Wars is known for having lots of really dumb weapons of war. It's kind of a staple. Now, as for the bombers, it's 100% possible that you can have these ships that have bombs that are attracted to ships most likely through magnetism, because obviously there's not going to be an actual gravity field. Well, there will be gravity in space, but it's going to be super light, depending on how close you are to the planets around you. So it is 100% possible for a ship to go over another ship and drop bombs on them in space. Is it practical? Absolutely not. But like I said, Star Wars has lots of impractical weapons of war. It's practically a fucking cliche of Star Wars at this point.
This action scene is fucking laughable. But somehow the people that say they didn't like Last Jedi excuse all of this.
Yeah, this last action scene's
because
awesome.
They say it's just the script. Did the script say, make this scene fucking stupid? I mean, this isn't...
That scene's awesome, by the way.
Either. Directing the actors to be all joyful and happy in the middle of everyone getting massacred. And yes, this would have been in the script as well, but you think on set, you might fucking wake up a bit. There's some of my favourite direction. That guy turning around to look at Kylo's fist.
Yeah, Rose kissing him was, that whole moment's a little weird. I will give it that. I like the sentiment she expresses. Don't really feel like it's the appropriate time for it.
They're exploding a dude out in the sand with 1,000 million fucking trillion shots. He's screaming his head off, and for some reason, his hand catches his eye, and he turns to stare at it. And that's the bit that disturbs him. The script...
Okay. Yeah, they're just drawing attention to the hand. Just drawing the attention that Kylo Ren's emotions are really taking hold at this moment. He's all about emotion at this moment. He's not thinking logically.
I'd have said that's enough. But it's on set that you've really got to make them scream like fucking lunatics.
That's enough! More!
These go to 11.
Now, amongst all this confused talk about Ryan's directing abilities, he seems to also be getting a lot of credit for the cinematography in this film, which, sorry to his cinematographer, fuck you. But I think people are getting confused about what makes good cinematography. Because you see, when I think of good cinematography, I'm thinking of a world I've entered. Interesting shots, choices of lenses, how the camera movement makes me feel, how it directs me through a scene, the way a shot's beautifully framed and not just someone in front of a green screen with the background drawn in.
I'm sure you are.
A look and feel that suits the story I'm in. Because this film looks like a fucking stage show and looks nothing like the other Star Wars movies. And this isn't about a changing time and a different era. It's about choosing the right type of cinematography for the story you're telling. Let me see if I can explain this clearer with the help of Roger Deakins, who is easily one of my favourite cinematographers. You might have heard of him, and if you haven't, I bet you've watched some of his...
Yeah, Roger Deakins is
his
great.
films. His plethora of work is just a collection of some of the greatest looking films you've ever seen. And they can all look so different. He hasn't got one bag of tricks. And he doesn't rely on oversaturation like some kind of fucking idiot. But anyway, Roger doesn't speak like me, so let's just get a few quotes from him to help understand what I'm saying.
I think people confuse pretty with good cinematography. What was it Freddie Francis says? There was good cinematography and bad cinematography, and then there's the cinematography that's right for the movie. And I often feel that actually if reviewers don't mention your work, it's probably better than if they do. It means it actually works because the film is a piece.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's a good argument. I usually feel that way about soundtracks. Cinematography, here's the deal. With soundtracks and cinematography and a lot of the work that goes into movies, if it's really, really good, people will point out that it's really good. If it's good enough, there's like this huge range. It's like essentially good to great, where you won't really notice it. And if you don't really notice it, that means it's great. You nailed it. And then there's bad. So you get those three tones. Now, sometimes it's really outstanding and it will stand out, and that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. Now, you don't want it to stand out throughout the whole movie. You want most of your movie to be in the kind of a good to great range, where it's good, but you don't really notice it. You just don't want mainly to fall into the bad range.
Right, you're confusing pretty for cinematography. That's not storytelling. Your favourite films might have memorable scenes that you love or talk about, but you don't.
Ooh, so is he admitting that Rian Johnson's shots are pretty? Is that what he's saying here? Because, yeah, there's some good cinematography in The Last Jedi.
Just talk about it for how it looks, which is what we see every fucking day about.
Yeah, those shots look great, man. What are you talking about?
The Last Jedi. Yes, every day some dickhead's putting up a photo of that fucking throne room scene and just praising and ejaculating all over the place. The fact that the scene is ridiculous, the action is terrible, nothing makes fucking sense, doesn't bother these people. It's colourful and bright. It's like keys in front of a fucking
Well, there's also, what I like about that scene is there's, you feel character growth. Because you feel like for a moment, you have that moment where Kylo Ren and Rey are allies. And also in that moment, I'm not sure where this trilogy is going. Because the main guy, what's his face? The guy, Snoke. Snoke is killed by Kylo Ren. And then Rey and Kylo have to fight off the guards. And it's like, wow, where's the franchise going to go? Has Kylo truly become a good guy? And the true answer to that was no, he's actually become a villain and he's hoping to have Rey join. So they essentially get to ally for a short little bit in the hopes that Kylo hopes Rey will join her in a pursuit to conquer the galaxy, and Rey hopes Kylo will join her in the hopes of ending all this crap.
Baby. Knives Out could be the greatest film you've ever seen, but not every director can do every style of film. Fucking keep him away from Star Wars. He's hopeless with the people, he's terrible at the action, and he's completely uninventive as a director.
I like how he doesn't actually cover any of the action. I've seen people nitpick the action before, and listen, all the fight scenes are going to be like that. It's not going to be perfect. That being said, I do like that action scene. I like that action scene with the two of them fighting the Emperor's guards.
Rector. So if you love Last Jedi, I've got some great sunset shots you'd love to see. But if you hate it, don't just blame the...
Well, that was a nice sunset shot. That being said, a sunset shot and a Star Wars movie are two different things. Sunset shot. I'm impressed how well he said that. That's a hell of a thing to say.
Script. His directing's just as fucking bad. But who are we kidding? We'll be lucky to see The Mandalorian again. And Ryan's not getting a directing job. And he's not getting his 3 films. Which sadly for me...
he's getting more Knives Out movies.
He means I won't be able to pay for that Cybertruck.
Great, that cut it.
Okay, well that was actually kind of interesting. I didn't expect that because, yes, he's criticizing The Last Jedi rather mercilessly, but a lot of his critiques were actually making the case for it. Like, he doesn't understand... Like, he really doesn't understand how to properly critique this. And instead, he's really making the case for it being a decent movie. It's kind of shocking. Like, he's like, oh, this is bad blocking. It's like, that blocking was intentional. How did you miss that? That blocking went along exactly with what was going on in the story. Pay attention, man. Yeah. Wow. Rian Johnson's Last Jedi is even better than you thought. Robot Head proves it.
They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't.
I used to fuck guys like you in prison.